Hello art friends, my name is Fleshwood. Happy Friday. In today's video, I have an original creepypasta for you. It is a bit of a longer creepypasta, so there will only be one OC in this video. However, Halloween month is fast approaching. So once again, I am asking you to please submit any Halloween OC stories or creepypastas either in the comments section below or on my subreddit, which will be linked in the description. Reddit is more for if you want to upload your story with a photo, if you want to upload a longer story, or if you just don't want to leave it in the YouTube comments. I have a lot of exciting stuff planned for next month, but I really want to get out a lot of Halloween themed OCs and just Halloween themed stories in general. So please don't forget to comment. Before we begin, I want to give a shout out to Wolf333 space 333. They are always commenting very nice long paragraphs on my videos like, I heart you. Thank you for taking the time to leave me such sweet and meaningful messages. You're literally the nicest person I've ever met. Well, I've ever internet met. Make sure to watch this video in the dark with the lights off and your headphones on for the best viewing experience. The Hummer, posted by Yellow Mimes. It was the glorious year of 1996, where a baby was born. Being that he was a boy, his name was Asher. Asher Chapman being his full name. Asher wasn't born perfect, nor mostly normal. He had trouble breathing, which was noted because he didn't cry, but seemed to be panting heavily and groaning quietly. Doctors and nurses were called in, and they took him to get examined. Nurses had to open his airways with medication. The doctor would put this tube connected to an inhaler and pump it into baby Asher's mouth. This would then help Asher breathe. He started to cry, which shows he is breathing. Finally, they gave him to his mother, Gloria. She would cry happy tears. They fell right on top of Asher's small face. He's a miracle baby, Gloria sniffled. Years later, it was his 18th birthday. Asher would get up from his bed, humming his way to the hallway. He was groggy and still somewhat tired. He then heard yelling, kicking, and screaming. It was his drunken mother. Asher! She was harshly calling his name on the top of her lungs. Oh God. He puffed nervously. He got his inhaler and inhaled in, and then slowly walked to the living room, walls caving in. The floor was full of bottles, some broken, some split. Yes, Mother, he said submissively, while putting him down with fear. Happy birthday. Now get out of here, boy. A big splat sound was made as she placed something on his hands. It was a plateless cake with frosting which was overflowing and seemed to have chunks of something. Thanks, I guess. He went to wash his hands in the sink. He would hum a familiar tune that he sang with his mom when he was 10 years old, that being the last time they were close. Asher, being 10, was still as pure as an angel. He was humming a song with his mom before going to bed. After she had left, the door cracked open, and he could hear bottles clinking to each other. It seemed his mom had beer, and weird enough had a friend over, or so he thought was a friend. This led him to go closer and watch more clearly. He saw his mom get drunk and flirt with this friend of hers. Asher got curious, then a big crash, and he heard hitting and fighting. He would walk out of the room. Mom? He would then learn that this was the wrong time to call for Mom. What do you want, Ashton? This scared him. Her harsh tone was threatening to him. Mom. He was interrupted by a slap to the face. This led to Asher running back to his room crying till the next morning. Asher. He looked around in a deep, dark void. Asher. He would jerk up, frightened. He was daydreaming. It seemed he had zoned out while thinking about past memories. Sorry, Mom. He looked down once again. I swear I have to do something about this. It's been going on for too long. The next day, he would sneak out and buy himself an emergency phone with his mother's money. He'd go home and hide under his covers so he didn't have to deal with his mom, since he had nowhere to really go. He was homeschooled and kept away from others ever since that very day. It wasn't too long until it got dim, and for some odd reason his ears rung real bad. He would hear static, then whispers telling him it's her fault. Kill her. It's her fault, kill her. He would get wheezy and start to cough after hearing that. It got cold in his room, which led to that happening. He then snapped, his eyes twitching, his back cracking. He fell to the floor, coughing up blood. It would be a whole waterfall of blood. He'd passed out right after. 12 hours pass, and he would wake up paranoid, breathing heavily with anxiousness. He got up, hurried into new clothing, and ran to the bathroom. Asher patted his face with his hands. No blood? Weird, but I thought... He would look back then to the mirror. No, Asher, stupid kid. It was just a dream. He slapped his face. Just then, he saw a tall figure in his mirror. The ringing coming back. Asher screamed in terror. Stop it! Leave me alone! Just then, everything stopped. He panted surprisingly. Everything went normal, except for his asthma. For using as much breath in his tone, it didn't flare up. Asher opened the bathroom door, not expecting his mom to be standing right in front of him. Damn boy, can you shut up for once? She would slap him hard across his face. He rushed out and went to his room. He would repeat his words, thinking he was in the wrong. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Even though she didn't even tell him what he did wrong specifically. He'd take a nap and wake up hours later. It was time for dinner. Ashton! He would cover his ears. Her yelling gave him a headache. This made him panic. He then got a bit dizzy. He went to sit down at the table. Asher didn't feel hungry, so he just played and picked at his food. Ashton, eat your food. You know I hate leaving leftovers, she said in a more firm speaking voice. Asher got up from his chair and burst into a fit of rage. Look, Mom, I am tired of your antics. Ever since 8 years ago, you've changed, and for the worse. He stood his ground, threw his food down to the floor. Ever since that guy from that long time ago, you've been drunk every day. Heck, I'm surprised you can even stand up. Just as he said that, his mom grabbed her bottles of beer and smashed that on the dinner table. Ashton, don't you dare start bringing that day up. That day was special and you know it. I met the man of my life just to find out he cheated on me. She cried, trying to manipulate him into feeling bad for her. I never wanted to. Asher backed out. Never wanted to do what? Be an alcoholic? Have I seen that? Be scared for my entire life? He would lose consciousness. You made this a living, and you did it with your own awareness, Mother. Gloria backs up. What are you saying? Asher started humming the tune from that day. There once was a mother and a child. He grinned painfully. They loved each other and would never forget one another. His mother pushed him. Asher, whatever you do, don't do it. He laughed. Oh, Mommy, such a silly mom. I mean, what would I do with that one? He started to laugh hysterically. He would jump onto her, strangling her, making sure she lost oxygen. Ashton. Just then, he would find consciousness. He gasped in fear. What am I doing? He freaked. He got up and stood up, staring down at his blue-faced mom. No, I didn't want this to happen. I have to leave. He rushed to change clothing. He wore yellow and green sweaters with matching colored shoes and put black pants on. This ought to do for now. He ran out the house. He would run for a while without looking, and then the ringing, then the static. After seeing a tall figure with a white, pale face, he was gone. The aftermath. The news would be heard on a small TV in a bakery. Hey, Rachel. A girl with cake batter all over her looks over. What happened, Maya? The first girl shows her the TV. Did you hear that news? A woman was found by her landlord dead inside her own house. They said she seemed to be strangled in a very inhumane way. Rachel is shook. She ends up dropping the bowl of cake batter in her hands. Maya, you know it's not appropriate here in the bakery. She grins sillyingly, then whispers, Did they say who must have committed it? Maya rolls her eyes in a playful way. Well, it's not confirmed, but they say it could be her. Just then, she's interrupted by an echoing hum. Rachel? Is that you humming, or am I hearing things? Rachel is just as shocked. Well, it wasn't me, and I heard it as well. The place isn't even open yet. They both sigh. I'll go check the back. Maya starts walking. As soon as she gets closer to the door, the humming starts again. Whoever's in there, you better get out right now or I'm calling the police. With enough strength, she threatens to call the police. She cracks the door open. She is pulled inside. Maya, is everything okay over there? She checks up on her. She smells a strong odor. Smells weird. Maybe it's just burnt cookies. Just then, she hears thuds and crashes on the back. Her eyes widened. Maya, I'm coming right over. She runs. She sees the door wide open. From bottom to top, body parts scattered everywhere, blended and cookie-cutted. Rachel finds a note saying, I thought she was my mom's face. I just had to do something about it. Her face always annoyed me. ... The Hummer. And that's all for this video. Please click the like button if you enjoyed the story and if you enjoy the art. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet and you like art and all things creepy. Please leave a comment below, it really helps out my channel, and it's just nice to say hi to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, art friends. Until the next video. Bye.